Our last game here, the Bucs take care of business against your Commanders, Matthew, 37-20. Baker.
Can I do a quick impression of my Commander secondary?
Oh.
Here we go. Here we go. All right.
Oh, man. They didn't watch your teach tape against Lawrence.
Matthew's
there you go.
one.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Fine. Yeah.
Master thespian.
Yes, Daniel Day-Lewis.
There you
Lincoln
go.
made Matthew
There you
Barry
go.
as
There you
Commander
go.
secondary.
I mean, was that? I think it was a fairly accurate representation.
Baker Mayfield will agree with you. 24-30, 289 yards, 4 touchdowns. It actually truly looked to. I'm not going to lie, there are just people on their couch in America that could hit Mike Evans for this touchdown. They just throw it up and hope he comes down with it.
Yeah. I mean,
And he does.
That actually wasn't even terrible coverage. I mean,
No, he's there. He's there.
That was the best moment that Washington secondary
This
had
is the
all
most
night.
competitive one out of everything we're going to show. Wide open.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Great day for Baker, by the way. QB2
awesome.
right now, as it stands. Almost 30 fantasy points.
Yeah, third best fantasy game of his career. He completed 80% of his passes.
Man,
He averaged
the Browns could use a guy like that right
I
now.
know. Listen, we love Baker Mayfield on this show. Friend of the podcast, Baker Mayfield. I'm surprised
I
Jay
have a
doesn't
photo
have
with him. I do have one photo with him. That actually might be my move.
Right, exactly.
Who has an knee injury? Welcome in, Baker. I'm going to do that in the pro.
Am I cut out of that one too?
Yes,
yeah,
you
of
are.
course. Okay,
100%.
great. Anyway, but we talked to Baker last year. Just an awesome human being. We love Baker on this show. And it was just, I will say this. I hated to see him cook my Commanders, but I will say seeing the Browns struggle while Baker cooks
Glorious.
that was awesome.
The irony of it.
Saying Deshaun Watson struggle, particularly.
It's also good. We'll get there, but I think the interesting thing here for the Buccaneers, look, Godwin and Evans, great. They were exactly what you thought as well. We saw more Bucky Irving than I think we expect. I will tell you, like all the rookie running backs we were talking about, like, hey, these are some good, interesting late round stashes. They all came to play. Rookies or young players like Tank Bigsby as well. I watched that game pretty closely, and I will just tell you that Bucky Irving looked pretty damn good. I thought to me. I don't know where that's the only.
He's going to eat into Rachaad White significantly, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, like Rachaad White did get a bunch of targets, like, whatever. He had a 21% target share in this game. Bucky Irving just 7%, but just,
But it's week one. It's only going to grow. That's my concern.
Week one. That's the point. Anyway, it was pretty good. Pretty good. Bucky Irving's going to be a thing.
Yep. How'd you feel about Jayden Daniels?
You know what? I thought Jayden Daniels had some really good moments and some not great
Rookie moments?
Yeah, some rookie moments. I think you could make an argument he played the best of all the rookie quarterbacks yesterday.
I would fully agree.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He was
Default,
better
the two greatest words of the
It might not be close on that front.
he was better than Caleb. He was better than Bo Nix, and I would argue that he probably had less talent around him than either of those guys. I mean, I don't know. Bo Nix doesn't have a lot around him either. But the positives from a fantasy perspective is this is why we talked about it. Like he tucked it and ran, right? No quarterback had more rushing attempts this week than Jayden Daniels. Like he tied with Lamar for 88 rushing yards. He gets two rushing touchdowns. I don't understand why that happened because the game's over and you've got Brian Robinson and this guy's your franchise and I don't know what we're doing there.
Yeah.
Like you got to protect this kid, but he does get the 2 rushing touchdowns as well.
Great if you started him.
Yeah, 1,000%. But that's what we talked about. That's why I had him as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. That's why he was on the love list. That's why he was as a top 10 guy for me in the rankings, which is that rushing just gives you such a floor. But Terry McLaurin, 4 targets, 2 receptions, 17 yards. They sort of shut him down. There was not a lot else to write home about the Commanders. Brian Robinson gets in the end zone. It's kind of an even split between him and Eckler as well. Hopefully better days are coming for McLaurin. Zach Ertz did get some usage, but in a game in which should have been negative game script and them throwing a lot more, they didn't. He tucked and run a lot.
Some injuries we're tracking, notable week 1 injuries. Of course, Puka Nacua, we already talked about that. We'll know more about the knee. Kenneth Walker did have an abdomen injury, which he's had that in the past, by the way. He didn't sound overly concerned this time after the game.
It's
but
just another thing.
It's happened before. Keep an eye on that one as much as he sounds okay. Jordan Love, we know he's going to miss a couple weeks with the knee injury. Avoided the worst case scenario with that. Keenan Allen, Jake Ferguson, keep an eye on that one. That could be a little bit more serious. David Njoku could miss some time as well. And Jordan Addison with the ankle as well.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.